Friends, patriots, Americans, what rights matter most to you? Are you willing to fight for them? Because in these times, our God-given rights and freedoms are under constant assault. The very document that guarantees them, the Constitution of the United States, is being chipped away at by those who seek to control every aspect of our lives. This document, forged in the fires of revolution, is not just a piece of parchment. It's a sacred covenant between the people and their government. It enshrines the principles of limited government, individual liberty, and the rule of law. Without it, we are nothing more than subjects to the whims of tyrants. The Founding Fathers, those courageous men who risked everything to secure our freedom, understood this. They knew that power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. That's why they gave us the Constitution, to limit the power of government and protect the individual rights of the people. But what good is a right if it's not defended? What good is a constitution if it's ignored? The answer, my friends, is clear. Without vigilance, without action, our rights will wither and die. The price of liberty is eternal vigilance. At the heart of our Constitution lies the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments that guarantee our most fundamental freedoms. These are not privileges granted by the government, they are inherent rights endowed by our Creator. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion, the right to bear arms. These are not abstract concepts. They are the bedrock of a free society. They are what separate us from the totalitarian regimes that seek to control every aspect of human existence. The First Amendment ensures that we can speak our minds without fear of censorship, that we can worship freely according to the dictates of our conscience. The Second Amendment guarantees our individual right to keep and bear arms in order to defend ourselves against tyranny, both foreign and domestic. And the remaining amendments, they protect us from unreasonable searches and seizures, guarantee due process of law, and ensure a fair trial. These are not mere technicalities, they are the safeguards of a just and equitable society. The First Amendment is perhaps the most important of all. It protects our right to free speech, freedom of the press, freedom of assembly, and freedom of religion. These freedoms are essential for a healthy society. They allow us to hold our leaders accountable, to debate important issues, and to peaceably assemble and petition our government for redress of grievances. But today, these freedoms are under attack like never before. Big tech companies censor conservative voices, often at the behest of the government. The mainstream media peddles propaganda and disinformation, and on college campuses across the country, free speech is being silenced in the name of political correctness. We cannot allow this to stand. We must fight for our right to speak the truth, no matter how unpopular it may be. We must defend the right of others to do the same, even if we disagree with what they have to say. For without free speech, all other freedoms are meaningless. The Second Amendment is often misunderstood, even demonized, but its purpose is clear: to ensure the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. This right is not about hunting or sport shooting. It is about the fundamental right of self-defense, the right to defend oneself, one's family, and one's property from those who would do us harm. Moreover, the Second Amendment serves as a bulwark against tyranny. It reminds the government that it derives its just powers from the consent of the governed, and that the people have the right to abolish a government that becomes destructive of their rights. Our Founding Fathers understood this. They knew that a well-armed citizenry is the best defense against tyranny. As Thomas Jefferson wrote, the strongest reason for the people to retain the right to keep and bear arms is, as a last resort, to protect themselves against tyranny in government. Section 5, Amendments 3 through 5. Protecting life and property. The Third, Fourth, and Fifth Amendments protect our homes, our property, and our very lives from government overreach. The Third Amendment prevents the government from quartering soldiers in our homes without our consent. The Fourth Amendment protects us from unreasonable searches and seizures. And the Fifth Amendment guarantees that we cannot be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. These amendments are essential for a free society. They ensure that we are secure in our homes and possessions, and that we cannot be arbitrarily arrested or imprisoned. They are a testament to the Founding Fathers' belief in the sanctity of private property and the importance of individual liberty. Yet today these rights are under attack. The government uses surveillance technology to spy on its own citizens. Law enforcement agencies conduct warrantless searches and seizures, and private property rights are constantly being eroded by government regulations. Section 6, Amendments 6 through 8, ensuring justice and fairness. Amendments 6 through 8 guarantee our rights in the criminal justice system. The Sixth Amendment guarantees the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury. The Seventh Amendment guarantees the right to a jury trial in civil cases, and the Eighth Amendment prohibits excessive bail and cruel and unusual punishment. These amendments are crucial for ensuring that the accused are treated fairly and that the innocent are not unjustly punished. They reflect the Founding Fathers' belief that all citizens are entitled to equal protection under the law. But sadly, these rights are often ignored. People are held in jail for months or even years without a trial. Prosecutors withhold evidence that could exonerate the accused. Just look at Harris's record as a prosecutor, and you will find many instances of this. And juries are often swayed by emotion rather than by the facts of the case. Section 7, Amendments 9 and 10, the power of the people. Finally, the Ninth and 10th Amendments are critical for understanding the proper role of government. The Ninth Amendment makes it clear that the enumeration of certain rights in the Constitution does not mean that other rights are not protected. And the 10th Amendment reaffirms the principle of federalism, stating that powers not delegated to the federal government nor prohibited to the states are reserved to the states respectively or to the people. In other words, these amendments remind us that the government's power is limited. The people are sovereign, and the government derives its just powers from the consent of the governed. Any powers not specifically granted to the federal government are reserved to the states or to the people themselves. These amendments are crucial for protecting individual liberty and limiting the size and scope of government. They remind us that we are a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Section 8, a call to action. My fellow Americans, the time for complacency is over. The rights we hold dear are under assault. Our Constitution is being trampled upon, and the very foundation of our republic is being shaken. But we, the inheritors of a proud legacy of liberty, will not go down without a fight. We will stand firm against those who seek to undermine our freedoms. We will defend our Constitution, no matter the cost. This is not a time for timidity. It's not a time for half measures. It's a time for courage, for conviction, for action. We must be vigilant in defending our rights. We must hold our elected officials accountable. And we must never, ever surrender our freedoms to those who would take them from us. So I say to you today, my friends, be informed, be engaged, be prepared, stay frosty, friends, keep your head down and your powder dry.